Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. And we're starting with a very significant announcement that just kind of casually came out of nowhere yesterday. That is Sony announcing a new first-party PlayStation studio that was built from the ground up. This is being reported by WCCF Tech. It says former Call of Duty veteran Jason Blundell has revealed that he's leading the foundation of a brand new PlayStation development team called Dark Outlaw Games. As some of you might remember, Jason Blundell left Treyarch in 2020 after working on the first 4 Black Ops games. A year later, he announced Deviation Games with the backing of Sony, albeit in an external capacity. Fast forward another 15 months or so, and Jason Blundell left Deviation Games not long before the studio ended up closing down. This time, Dark Outlaw Games is being structured inside of PlayStation Studios, and this is what Jason Blundell said on the Jeff Gerstmann show. Quote, "I've had the amazing opportunity to create a new studio within PlayStation Studios for Sony. The studio is called Dark Outlaw Games, and we've been working away in the shadows for a while. When we got something to talk about, we'll step out into the light, but you know the story for me is always about the game, not about the studio. The reason we're not doing fanfare or shouting about it from the rooftops is like, let's get something right. But yeah, Dark Outlaw Games, it's such a privilege to be able to do it with Sony as a new first-party studio. Sony doesn't set up first-party studios all the time. To have that privilege is humbling. It's really nice. I'm really excited. We're keeping it kind of low-key. We've been going for a little bit of time now, not going to really comment about what we're doing exactly, but we're getting the team to gel, getting the ideas clicking and testing those. You know, I'm a programmer at heart, so let's test those assumptions. Is it working? Again, we're trying to hit that escape velocity. But again, being asked to do something like this, I get the studio head and director. I'm just going to keep that side. I got an executive producer this time, but yeah, I'm very excited. And I love the fact that still at this point in my career, I'm given these opportunities. It's always that desire to, again, you want to put the extra disc on the wall, if you will. Can you bring something to an audience and excite them and get some new IPs? That makes me jump out of bed every morning. We'll be working tirelessly to get that ready." End quote. Dark Outlaw Games is based in Los Angeles. For the time being, the studio appears to be relatively small, at least judging by LinkedIn. However, it's likely to staff up in the coming years, given the average AAA development time. So this is, yeah, official confirmation that there is a new first-party PlayStation studio called Dark Outlaw Games, being headed up by Jason Blundell, and it seems like they've been working on their game since 2023, so for a couple of years now, and they're continuing to grow the team. We know this because recent job listings for this LA-based studio have been making the rounds, and all we know as of right now is that Jason Blundell is the director of this game and the head of the studio, and that this game is going to be a co-op title. Now, if we look at the history of Jason Blundell, you know, working on 4 Call of Duty Black Ops games, specifically focused on zombies, I think that it's safe to say that they're going to be doing something, you know, relatively similar to that. I don't know that it will be a zombies-based game, but just something kind of in that vein, which is very interesting. The last thing I want to say before moving on is that he kind of points out the fact that Sony doesn't really do stuff like this that often, right? Sony doesn't really just build new studios from the ground up, and we've seen them partner with many studios and purchase studios, but building a studio from the ground up is something Sony really just rarely ever does. So this is, I would say, a pretty big deal. Like, I'm not trying to hype anybody up or get anybody excited. I mean, whatever this game is going to be likely years away, but this is still just something that I feel like is absolutely worth paying attention to. And again, I would assume that whatever this game is will likely be a PlayStation 6 title, but something I'm going to keep you guys updated on as we go forward. Dark Outlaw Games, it's official. And it was a relatively low-key announcement, and we'll have to just remain patient and see what they're working on. We're going to move on to the next topic, though, which talks about another PlayStation Studios title, that being Saros. This is being reported by WCCF Tech. Again, they say Housemarque's next game, Saros, would never have been possible if the studio remained independent, according to its CEO. Speaking with a Finnish publication, Housemarque's CEO commented on the acquisition of the studio by Sony, saying that it brought some cultural changes to the studio, such as having to conform to Sony's HR practices, but also more financial resources that have allowed the developer to move to new offices and effectively make Saros possible, as Housemarque would have never been able to do that as an independent studio and invest as much as they needed for the development of the game, which entered full production in 2022. While the game's budget hasn't been revealed, it is, according to the publication, close to Alan Wake 2's budget of 70 million euros. So this title is one of my most anticipated from PlayStation. Returnal was an incredible title, and they're making it known here that they began work on this game in 2022, pretty much right after Returnal came out, or not too long after, I should say, Returnal came out. And yeah, it's interesting to get this insight from Housemarque's CEO, making it known that, listen, if Sony didn't acquire them, making a game on this level that we're seeing wouldn't have been possible. And I think that's good, right? I think this is where we're seeing Sony kind of do what they do best, where they bring on studios that they've worked with for years, like Housemarque, and really just start to give them more resources, more budget, and more opportunity to grow and hopefully achieve their full potential. So just wanted to let you guys know about this. But we're moving on to the next topic, which talks about the God of War TV series and how Amazon is feeling so good about it that they've already ordered 2 seasons. It seems it hasn't been exactly smooth sailing up the river Styx for Amazon's proposed TV adaptation of Sony's God of War IP, which was recently scrapped, starting over from scratch. Nevertheless, the colossal company remains bullish on the project and has already ordered 2 seasons sight unseen. That's according to renowned writer, producer, and now God of War showrunner Ronald D. Moore, who's in charge of adapting the series for the small screen. He says, "Right now I'm working on the adaptation of this video game called God of War that Amazon has ordered 2 seasons of, and they asked me to come in. I'm literally in the writer's room, and that's my new thing." Apparently, Moore, whose experience with video games is largely limited to arcades in the 80s, has been having a tough time playing the God of War games. He says, quote, "The controllers now, press R1. Which one's R1? Oh, I'm dead. I can't quite get a hold of that." So, yeah, I don't know if that makes me feel confident necessarily in the adaptation of this, but yeah, apparently Amazon is feeling so good about this that they've already ordered 2 seasons. So it'll be really interesting to see how this turns out. I feel like this God of War TV series, I mean, this one, in my opinion, has the potential to be an absolute train wreck if they don't get it just right. I think it's obvious why that would be, but I don't know, man. I guess we'll just have to wait to see. I hope it turns out good. But we're going to move on to the final topic here of the video, which talks about the upcoming Days Gone Remaster. This is being reported by PlayStation Lifestyle. They say Bend Studio has confirmed that Days Gone Remastered's PS5 Platinum Trophy will automatically pop for existing PS4 owners. However, those who don't want to automatically earn all the trophies without playing the game have the option to do just that. Simply import your PS4 save file before starting Days Gone Remastered on PS5, and if you've unlocked the Platinum Trophy in the original game, it'll pop up in the newer version as well. Those who want to earn all the trophies from scratch again should avoid importing their save file and start a new game instead. The easiest way to transfer your save file between PS4 and PS5 is to use the PS Plus cloud feature. Upload your PS4 save onto the cloud and download it on the PS5. If you're not a PS Plus member, you can transfer save data using a USB stick. And just a reminder, Days Gone Remastered is launching next month, April 25th, and those who own the PS4 version can upgrade for $10. If you own the physical version, it is worth noting that you will have to put the disc inside the PlayStation 5 every time you want to play it. So, yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, if you're planning on, upgrading to Days Gone Remastered and you platinumed it originally on PS4, you can just get a whole new set of trophies and get another platinum. So let me know down in the comments below if that's what you're planning on doing, or if you're planning on kind of starting over and unlocking every trophy, all over again. But that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it informative. If you did, be sure to leave it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.